Did you know that it costs up to $3,000 for a lifetime of disposable diapers, which will take hundreds of years to decompose in landfills? Disposable diapers also contain harmful chemicals that can affect your baby. Are there other options? How does one cloth diaper? I'm Heather McNamara, Executive Director of the Real Diaper Association, here to show you how cloth diapering has changed over the years and to break down the confusing cloth diapering lingo. This is Parent Savers, episode 26.
Faster than a speeding toddler.
Sit still for just a minute.
Can soothe boo-boos with a gentle kiss.
Did you get down from there?
Able to clean poopy bottoms in a single swipe.
Oh, what did you eat?
Turning frazzled mommies and daddies into procreators of peace and harmony.
Ah, quit touching me.
It's Parent Savers, empowering new parents everywhere.
Welcome to Parent Savers, broadcasting from the Birth Education Center of San Diego. I am your host, Casey Wilt. You can now download our free app. Check it out on your smartphone or tablet. We are so excited to announce the Parent Savers Club. This is an exclusive membership club available to all our loyal listeners. It gives you access to all the archived episodes, written transcripts of the show, a behind-the-scenes look at the conversations that take place after each interview is over, plus a special monthly newsletter with special giveaways, discounts, and so much more. You can access all this great information through the web or through the new Parent Savers app. So for more information, visit parentsavers.com and click on the members link at the top of the page. Also, we want you to be a part of the show. Did you know you can email one of our experts directly and ask parenting questions? Or if you have a question in an episode that we didn't answer, send it in. We have so many great and knowledgeable experts partnering with us to get your questions answered. Email or you can call our hotline and we'll get them answered. So I am a new parent myself. My son Carson is 22 months old, and I am joined by 4 new parents here in the studio.
Hi, I'm Scott Killian, Certified Financial Planner with The Family Firm. I have one boy, and he is almost 3.
Do you cloth diaper, since we're talking about this as a topic?
I do cloth diaper.
My name is Malia McKee. I'm 34. Shh, don't tell anybody that. I work in the biotech industry. I do work full-time, so I work outside the home. I have 2 boys, Jack, Max. Jack is 2.5, and Max is 7 months. And we have cloth diapered both boys, Max from birth and Jack from 3 months.
I'm Kate Hunter. I'm 36 years old. I work in regulatory affairs for a medical device company. I have 2 children, a 3.5-year-old girl and a 10-month-old boy, and we've actually done both cloth and disposables for both kids.
I am Mary Jane Fisher. I am 36 years old, stay-at-home mom to my son Jason, who's 15 months old, and we started cloth diapering when he was 5 months old.
Great to have you guys today. We have an email from one of our listeners. His name is Jake, and he lives in McFarland, Wisconsin. He says, I just wanted to say that I really appreciated your episode on baby-proofing your home. Our first child is just now crawling, and we've started to think about how we can make our home safe. I love the piece of advice about physically getting on your hands and knees and looking at your home from your child's perspective. Why didn't I think of that? Thanks again. Thank you, Jake, for listening to our episode on baby-proofing. We sure hope it helped you, so thanks for writing in. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for our show, call the Parent Savers hotline at 619-866-4775, and we'll answer your question on a future episode. Today on Parent Savers, we have Heather McNamara, Executive Director of the nonprofit Real Diaper Association, and she's here with us to give us the dirty on cloth diapering. So, Heather, thanks for joining us. What are the reasons why people would even choose to cloth diaper? I mean, there's some people that are interested in the environment, but there's some people that aren't. Yeah, what are some reasons?
There are 3 main reasons why parents would choose to cloth diaper: financial, environmental, and health reasons. And there was a study that came out in 2010 that showed that 1/3 of American families experience diaper need, meaning they have to cut back on basic necessities like food, utilities, and childcare in order to buy diapers, because diapers can cost up to $3,000 for each child over the time you're diapering.
So is that like $1,000 a year if you diaper until
roughly
3? Okay.
Yeah. So if you choose to use cloth diapers instead, though, you're not purchasing a different diaper for every diaper change. So you're reusing a single diaper, so over and over and over. So you can get a stash of cloth diapers that will cost you a few $100s. So that will save you roughly $2,500 over the course, at least over the course of your child's diapering lifetime. So that's a big reason, especially in a tough economy, why you're seeing parents choose cloth diapers. Another is environmental, and you mentioned that, or we mentioned it in the intro. 7.6 billion pounds of garbage, diaper garbage, enter landfills in the United States every year.
7.6
billion pounds.
billion pounds.
Yeah.
That's just and that's the States.
That's just the United States. That's enough diapers to fill Yankee Stadium 15 times over. Every year.
That's pretty dirty.
Yeah. When you talk about reduce, reuse, recycle, we always hear that. Well, the highest on that's a hierarchy. And so cloth diapers represent both reducing and reusing.
But since they're a natural waste, per se, a bodily function, wouldn't they just kind of decompose?
Well, not the plastics and the chemicals that are in disposable diapers. No, in fact, those will take up to 500 years to decompose.
For one diaper?
Yes. So if William Shakespeare was in disposable diapers, his diapers would still be in our landfills today.
That's an interesting thought to put out there.
And then the other big reason is health, and people are becoming much more careful and aware of the environmental toxins and chemicals that are around them, and just the same in disposable diapers. So it's not magic that makes them absorb. There are chemicals in them that are absorbing, and those chemicals are now up against your baby's bottom skin for a long periods of time, and they're off-gassing, and those can be absorbed through your child's lungs even as they're breathing. So
I had heard disposable diapers, the stuff that they stick in disposable diapers was in tampons that cause TSS, toxic shock syndrome, and that is removed from tampons, but they're in diapers. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. Though it wasn't a direct causal effect. Those chemicals were not causing TSS. It's the extra absorption being left in for a long period of time that could lead to toxic shock syndrome. So it's not actually quite as cut and dry as that makes it sound.
Okay.
But we can take the idea from that we also don't want to leave our babies soaking in their diapers for too many hours.
Well, certainly the longer they're exposed to their waste, the more sensitive their skin will be and react to that.
So how are diapers different now than they used to be when our parents had kids, or even just 5-10 years ago for people who are having multiple kids?
Good question. And both are different. I think I need to explain what a diaper is first, just to make sure that we all are talking about the same thing.
Please.
And a diaper is going to do two things. It's going to absorb moisture, and it's going to be moisture resistant. So absorb it, be able to hold it like a towel would, but also not go all the way through like a towel would to their clothing. So you need a moisture resistant component as well. So those two things in our parents' generation, so let's say even when I was a baby, the absorbency would be done by a square of cotton that looks similar to a dish towel.
Yeah, like a rag.
Yeah.
In fact, they were our rags all growing up.
We kept ours too.
Yeah. And it was usually a single layer, and then they would fold it using some origami method to get it into the shape of a diaper, and then pin it on, and then usually put on something on top. And in their older days, it was either kind of these rubber pants or wool covers. Now, wool has stayed around as a possibility, but no more rubber pants, which are all crackly and gross. So now the change is that you still need to do those things. You still need to be moisture absorbent and moisture resistant, but you can do that with a variety of fabrics and a variety of shaped diapers now, and with different closure methods, so you don't have to use pins anymore either. So some of the cloth diapers today that you'll see they close with snaps or Velcro. And then as far as between 10 years ago and now, what you're seeing is the styles are changing ever so little year to year, but those seem to be slight improvements. So improvements on how elastic works around the legs, and better containment, and even some different kinds of absorbing fabrics. So you've seen new things like microfiber come on the scene. So instead of just cotton and hemp, which used to be, and now they've added some bamboo absorbent pieces as well. not all progress is good progress, but some of those have been really helpful, and that's what you'll see the differences between now
And these are all
10
just
years
basically
ago.
different preferences by people and different preferences by companies that put it out there. And
Yeah, exactly.
Or preferences by what your baby is going to hold. Some people try different things because they're a heavy wetter, or the way that they sleep. So, yeah, there's definitely different ways to do it.
so can you jump in there? Show me some samples and give me some cloth diapering lingo to break it down for people. What is what? Like, what's a snappy? What's a pre-fold? And, pocket, all in one. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit. So as I was saying, there was that big rectangle of fabric or square of fabric that your grandmother used, and that's called a flat. And then the thing after that, the first innovation in cloth diapering was the pre-fold. And all that is it takes this large square of single layer fabric and it folds it in a way and so that it's sewn so that the center is thicker and has more layers than the sides.
Kind of look like the modern day birth cloth.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So those are called pre-folds, and that's the diaper that you'll usually see if you're using a diaper service. So they're washing their diapers for you. They bring them to your house. You use them and then put them out on the front porch for them to pick up the next week. So those are pre-folds. Now that would need a cover because that is absorbent, but you still need a moisture-resistant piece on the outside.
Okay, so you know what? We did the pre-folds when my son was little. I don't even remember the reason, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to let him breathe a little bit, but I don't want him naked because then he's going to pee all over the couch. So I put him in this whatever pre-fold, and I didn't put a cover on it because which you're gonna talk about in a second. And the next thing you know, he sat everywhere and got everywhere wet because and then he's laying on me nursing, and the next thing you know, I'm wet, and I was like, oh, that's why they're important. Got it. So you have your pre-fold and you need a cover for it,
Right.
But how do you close the pre-fold?
Well, you can actually just put the pre-fold on, slide it under the cover, and put the cover on, and the cover will Velcro on. But if you wanted your pre-fold to be on there pretty securely, you would use a fastener, and there's fasteners.
I think you can say the name of
Okay,
this
so
one.
there's one called the Snappy, and it has kind of a grabby claw on couple ends of it.
You know how I explain it? It's when you have an
Like an
ace
ace
bandage, the ace bandage closure. Hey, you know what? I could save myself a lot of money and just go buy a lot of the closures for ace bandages and stick them on my diapers.
You could. For all the Snappies I managed to lose, that would probably be a smart way to go.
But anyway, so it's like fastener, but it's the shape of it, almost like a T, huh?
Yeah, it's shaped like a T, and then it's got that grabby piece like the ace bandages when you want to close that. But it's plastic and it's not quite as sharp even as the ace bandage ones. So they're safe to use on your baby. So you put that on, and then you're going to put a cover on, and the cover is made of polyurethane laminate, the most common kinds of covers, and so that would be moisture resistant. Now, so that would be a pre-fold and a cover. Now your old school flats you can still use with a cover. Or
Dish towel
you can use with a cover. Yes.
So
absolutely.
anything can just go in this cover.
Anything. In fact, my son was demonstrating recently how he could fold his T-shirts and put them on his diapers on his bears. So, yeah, anything.
I've also heard of flour sacks. You could use a
flour
flour sack.
sacks.
Flour sack.
Pretty
I don't
popular.
even know what a flour sack is.
Yeah, it's kind of like kitchen
Oh,
towel.
flour, like
F-L-O-U-R.
baking flour. I was thinking like a daisy.
Yep, so you can use those. So those are kind of the two pieces. Now, fitted diapers take the idea of having just absorbency be their job, but they shape it and they use elastic around the bottom. So this diaper starts to look now just like your disposable diaper, except that it still needs a cover, but it's shaped like a diaper. So that fitted diaper will go on with Velcro or snaps and then still need a cover.
Okay, show me one to get me. Okay. Okay. What I'm looking at right now, you guys can check out our video on our website. So it exactly is that. It looks exactly like a diaper, except
Except it's cloth. I mean, it's
you don't
fabric.
throw
It's
it
a
away.
soft fabric on the inside and the outside. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, this is made of 100% organic cotton. So all the way through is just cotton. but it just has tabs
Now,
on the
wouldn't
front
that be
that
too
it
much
Velcros
work
on.
that you would use that and then a cover on top of it? Your child's butt would be, really nice cushiony.
Yep, it would be nice cushiony. Perfect for little ones. Just what they need.
Cushion them falling all over the place.
But airflow or anything like that with that much fabric?
Well, airflow is fine. This is cotton. Cotton is a natural fiber, and so it breathes. So there's no plastic in here that's going to stop any airflow. Even though it's thick, it still is going to breathe all the way through the fabric. The thing that's going to stop the airflow to some extent is the polyurethane laminate, but that stops it even less so than the disposable diaper plastic. If you wanted something that was really breathing all the way through, you'd choose a natural fiber all the way throughout. So you'd use cotton or hemp on the inside, and then you use wool on the outside, because wool is a natural fiber, but it acts also moisture resistant as a cover, so that your baby's bottom is not causing wet spots all over your house.
Yeah, well, with that one, if I didn't put a cover on it, because
spots.
it's pretty thick, so I probably would get a wet spot not after 15 minutes, probably after
True. Yes, this would
30 or
last
40.
longer, right, absolutely, without a cover. You could certainly do this without a cover, and a lot of people do choose to do that, and they just change their baby's diapers more frequently.
Okay. We've talked about pre-folds. We've talked about the snappies and the covers.
Uh-huh.
What's next?
And we've talked about fitteds and covers. So now what we do is the next step is to combine the pieces into one. So just like in disposable diapers, they have the wood pulp and the chemicals doing the moisture absorption for you, and the plastic exterior doing moisture resistance, but it's all packaged into one single diaper. Well, cloth diapers have that solution as well, and it's called, in fact, geniusly, an all-in-one. So it does it all in one. And so what it does is it'll have an absorbent core with a moisture-resistant exterior, but they're sewn together. So the same materials are doing that we already talked about, cotton or hemp on the inside and PUL on the outside, but it's all sewn together now.
So babysitter and parent-proof?
Yes, this goes on and off just like a disposable diaper. It looks exactly the same. So it's very simple.
It does look exactly like a little, except it's cuter.
Except it's cuter. Yeah, it's funny you should mention that. I always talk about the financial, environmental, and health reasons for using cloth diapers, but you really can't ignore the cute. The cute factor is really important as well.
Why not everyone get that one? Because if it's just the same as a disposable, then...
Yeah, so the reason is this takes a lot longer to dry, and it's a little bit harder to wash too, but mostly it's the drying that's the problem of this. And so they kind of solved that by creating the pocket diaper. The pocket diaper is going to look a lot like an all-in-one. It goes on and off in one piece, just like a disposable and just like an all-in-one. But the difference is you can actually take the absorbent piece out and separate it, so that when you're washing it, that separation will allow it to agitate through the dryer in a way that allows all the pieces to dry faster than they would if they were all sewn together. So a pocket just simply it looks like a sleeve with polyurethane on laminate on the outside. On the inside is a stay dry fleece layer, and that's going to be the side that's against your baby's skin. And then in between those two sewn together layers, you slide into the pocket an absorbent piece, which can be cotton, hemp, microfiber, bamboo.
Well, it kind of looks like a cotton maxi pad.
Yeah.
Really, if you to break it down.
It does. It's usually just kind of a rectangular, long piece of absorbent material.
So since that's a separate piece, does that mean you can pick the insides you want or add extra for nighttime and that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad you asked that, because you can completely customize both the fabric that works for your baby and the level of absorbency that you need for the time that you're using it. So if you're going on a long car trip, say, or nighttime or nap time, you can add
or you just don't
additional
want to change
absorbency.
diapers, right?
They're going to require you to change every 2 to 3 hours, and then you always want to change the second your baby poops in a diaper. So you never want to let that go for any amount of time, because that's really going to cause
any
rashes.
diaper.
Well, really any diaper, yes. Good point.
So for nighttime, per se, if you were going to stick a pocket, you'd maybe stick like 2 of these maxi pad things in, or
Sure. Or 3.
or 3 or 4. And their butt can be really big.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So what exactly is a hybrid diaper?
Hybrid diapers take that absorbent piece, and they give you options for what you're using to solve that absorbency problems. So if you have you can choose to use either cotton or something that's disposable. So you have still your outer layer is reusable, and usually like a polyurethane laminate cover outer. And then inside that kind of maxi pad looking square or rectangle, instead of using cotton or hemp, you would use this thing that's made of like kind of wood pulp and chemicals. And so it's the same things that are in a disposable diaper, but you put them in a liner.
But no plastic.
But no plastic. Usually no plastic. Some of them actually add plastic to the backing of them, thinking that will add to the moisture resistance, but not all of them do that. And
I've seen some of them you can flush in the toilet.
Yeah, some of them say that they can be flushed, though. All the wastewater departments that I've spoken with recommend against that. And certainly you have to be really careful depending on your sewer system, your specific system. So you don't want to mess with that. So in general, you probably not do that, not flush them unless you're really confident and you've spoken with your water department. But the others, some of them say that they're biodegradable. And again, that's true, but under certain conditions.
We use the disposable inserts for travel a lot. So if I'm going to my mother-in-law's and she lets me use her washing machine, great, we bring our cloth. But if we're going to, say, Hawaii, it's nice to have those as an option because I trust the covers, especially on the plane. So it's just nice to have that option and not have to lug disposables or worry about purchasing them there. A lot of times I'll buy them and ship them, and they'll be at our destination, or pack them really flat in suitcases.
Because they do pack smaller than a disposable.
Very much so. And they're great.
So a hybrid would be this outer layer that's waterproof, this disposable insert, or when they say hybrid, it means you can go the other way.
Reusable insert.
So you could stick your other reusable insert in there.
Yeah, so you could be using these diapers that are called hybrid diapers, but you could be using them in a 100% reusable way, or you could use them in a partially disposable way.
Great, thanks so much. So when we come back, we'll talk about what to do with the poop. We're back with Heather McNamara, Executive Director of the nonprofit Real Diaper Association, and she is talking to us about cloth diapering. So what do you do with the poop? That's the question that everybody wants to know. What do you do with the poop?
When you asked me earlier about the difference between our grandmother's day and today, I thought, this is also part of it, because I never saw a diaper sprayer used by my parents or my grandparents.
No hose?
And the diaper sprayer for me was a big improvement for cloth diapering. So what a diaper sprayer is you hook up on the side of your toilet. There is a valve, and you can add a hose in. And at the end of your hose, you have a spray nozzle. And so you just simply turn on the water on the side of the toilet, hold the spray nozzle, and spray your diaper into the toilet to get all the waste, the solid material.
It kind of
off.
looks like one of those sinks that the extra hose comes out to wash your
like
dishes.
a kitchen sink. Yeah,
Okay.
where you can pull that out.
That's exactly what it is, and you can buy commercial versions of it, or you could save a lot of money. And like I did, and I built my own using exactly that.
How much did you
kitchen.
spend when you
Somewhere
bought?
between $15 and $20, I think.
And how much do they usually cost? The ones that are
About $50.
Like $50 or $60.
We actually went on eBay and bought a bidet. And bidets are not common in the United States at all. But Mr. Bidet on eBay, I mean, I think that's the name or whatever. But you can just go bidet and, pops up. And I'm like, oh, man. And to be honest, we've used it ourselves. We kind of like it. So.
It also makes a great conversation piece. Put it in the guest bathroom.
Yeah. Exactly. What is that? So you spray the diapers off. And then, but what if you don't have a diaper sprayer? A lot of people don't have diaper sprayers.
Sure. You can also use flushable liners. So they sell these just rolls of what look like dryer sheets.
Okay.
They're thin, but not as thin as like toilet paper. And you just lay that on the diaper in between the baby and the diaper, and that'll catch the solid material. And then you just kind of peel that off the diaper and drop it into the toilet. It drops in with the solids, and you've
That's
got
pretty
rid of
easy.
your solids. Yes.
So then now what do you do with your diaper?
So
do you take the pieces apart? I mean, I know the all-in-one, the pieces are sewn in together.
Right.
But the pocket, you said you take them out?
Yeah, and it depends on the brand because some of the styles are actually
attached or
made.
something.
Well, some of them are also made to agitate out in the wash by themselves, so you don't have to separate them before you put them in the wash.
They make it easier and easier these
days.
Pretty soon they'll be washing the diapers for me.
Right.
With those flushable liners, we used those for a little while, and they say you can put them in the toilet. We had the plumbers come out about once every 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
To fish them out of our sewer. We didn't really know anything about diaper sprayers, but we quickly learned after that. And so when we did use them, if the diaper was peed, we washed them and we reused them. If it was pooped, then that's when we used the toilet, which did not work in our experience.
Well, Malia, you were saying something in the other room about disposables and the waste.
Right. So if you actually check on the side of a disposable diaper package, it actually says to flush the solid waste, which I would say most people don't do.
Well, that's the point of a disposable. You just toss the whole thing. But I think it's illegal. It's illegal. It's kind of like throwing batteries away. You're not supposed to do it. It's illegal to do.
It's putting human waste in the landfill, which is not necessarily the best idea. And to be honest, even people who do disposables might want to consider putting it in the toilet because then your house isn't stinking.
True.
So.
Very true.
So I've now sprayed my poop off into the toilet, or I plop it out because it plops out. So I wait until my diapers stack up and I've rinsed them in the toilet. They don't have a stink. So it's not like I walk into my laundry room and it has this massive over stench. And then when they get to be full, I toss them in my wash. And for me, if I cloth diaper and it's too much work, I just won't do it. So I have it set to the towel wash, which is like the extra wash. And then I set my thing for an extra rinse and I put it on hot. And I don't do, because some people soak them and then they do another load, and that's fine. For me, I can't do that much work. But what are some other systems that you can do?
Yeah, it doesn't have to actually be that hard. So most people wash their diapers every 2 or 3 days, and that's what's recommended. So you take your full diaper pail down to your laundry, and it's pretty straightforward. So you've already dumped your solids, so you just start with a warm rinse, a hot wash with enough detergent as if you have something very dirty like my husband's hockey clothes. So yeah, that much detergent. And then 2 rinses, usually on warm to finish. And most people have their washers, they can't make such fine distinctions about the temperature of your rinse and stuff. So I'm just giving the ideal if you could. But most people are going to end up setting it to a hot wash and just set an extra rinse on there because all washes start and end with rinse cycles. So you've already got your initial rinse in there and your final rinse in there, and you're just adding in an extra rinse at the end. And that's really just to get all of your detergent out.
What if you can't get all the poop off the diaper when you spray it?
Well, it'll come out in that initial rinse.
Is that safe? Is that
Yeah. So you can get in there with your look around after you take your diapers out of the washing machine and see, and it looks completely clean. Swipe around in there, it's clean, so it's gone. Then you want to dry them, and you can dry them in the sun, ideally, because that would bleach out any stains, or you throw them in your dryer, or mix and match those options.
Can you hire a cloth diapering company?
Oh, diaper services. Diaper services are great, and they are on the upswing again. So in most cities, there are more than one diaper service that are available for you. And they will come and drop off beautiful, clean set of diapers at the beginning of the week or when your baby's first born, and then you use them all week and put them outside sitting. They give you a bag and you put it outside, and they pick them up and drop you off magically clean diapers again to use for the rest of the week. So you don't have to do any of the laundry. You do actually have to wash your covers. I kind of slightly misspoke. You do have to do some of the laundry, but you're not doing the inners. So you're using pre-folds with covers, and those pre-folds are being cleaned by the diaper service.
So no pockets, no all-in-ones or anything?
No, most diaper services don't do that. There are a couple of exceptions here and there across the country, but for the most part, it's pre-folds that are being washed there. And in that case, with the diaper service, you're not saving as much money. So the costs are probably going to be pretty similar, but you are still gaining the environmental and health benefits. And even environmentally, some people say, well, with the driving around, the picking up, et cetera, it's not as environmentally friendly. Well, that's somewhat true, but on the other hand, their washing is incredibly efficient, more than a home washing situation.
But as far as a service goes and what you're spending on disposals versus what you're spending on a diaper service for them to take them away, I've heard from some people in some circles that they have found it to be like a little bit cheaper.
It is still a little bit cheaper, and it depends on the service too. Some of the services that are going to be focusing on using all organic materials and really green, clean cleaning systems, those might be a little bit more comparable on your cost.
Okay, but if you found the cheapy old one, you actually would be still saving money.
You're still saving money, yeah.
Great. Thank you so much to Heather for helping us learn about cloth diapering. If you want more information on the Real Diaper Association, go to today's show on the episode page on our website or visit realdiaperassociation.org. And join our membership club, and you can hear the rest of the conversation as we continue talking with Heather. We'll ask her a couple more questions, and you can get that from our Parent Savers Club. Before we wrap up today's show, here's psychologist Jennifer Shear with tips on understanding the emotional side of parenting.
Hi, Parent Savers. I am Dr. Jennifer Shear, a clinical psychologist with a practice in San Diego. One of my specialties is working with women during pregnancy and throughout the transition to motherhood. Today's segment is on ways to manage the panic we often feel with the sleep deprivation that comes along with baby. There are certain things we all know we should do in order to get the sleep we need. However, actually doing them is a whole other story. We know we should nap when baby naps, let go of the housework, and allow others to help us. However, in order to do these things, we must let go of how we are used to functioning, do battle with the perfectionist inside us, and allow ourselves to be partially dependent on others. Some ways to exercise this necessary shift is to remind yourself that this is an extremely intense, yet very temporary time of your life. To really commit to the job responsibilities of becoming a new mom in relation to sleep. Job is all about baby and self-care, and the rest is interference. Do your best to stay focused on the true priority and guard it like a mama bear. Accept that you will be functioning with a certain level of stress that comes from fatigue, and that's okay. You are still capable of being just good enough without feeling fully prepared or on top of your game. Try accepting this level of discomfort instead of fighting it, like relaxing muscles instead of tensing them when you feel stressed. If it is difficult to allow yourself to feel somewhat dependent on others, recognize that you are doing this in service of being more fully available for your baby. It might be helpful to remind yourself that even if you feel resistant or uncomfortable in these new behaviors, it is all to benefit baby and your own feelings of maternal competence. I hope these ways of thinking about the anxiety with mom fatigue aids you all in having more restful sleep whenever the opportunity is there for you to take. Thanks for listening to Parent Savers.
That wraps up today's episode. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question for our expert about today's show or the topics we discussed, call our Parent Savers hotline at 619-866-4775 or send us an email through our website, parentsavers.com, or our Facebook page, and we'll answer your question in an upcoming episode. Thanks for listening to Parent Savers, empowering new parents everywhere.
This has been a New Mommy Media production. The information and material contained in this episode are presented for educational purposes only. Statements and opinions expressed in this episode are not necessarily those of New Mommy Media and should not be considered facts. While such information and materials are believed to be accurate, it is not intended to replace or substitute for professional medical advice or care, and should not be used for diagnosing or treating healthcare problem or disease or prescribing any medication. If you have questions or concerns regarding your physical or mental health or the health of your baby, please seek assistance from a qualified healthcare provider.
Hey mamas, don't forget to check out Mighty Moms. It's our online community built for new moms just like you. Not only can you connect with other moms, but you can also join us backstage for special mom-only online events. And you'll also be notified when we're recording, so you can join us as a special guest. Visit our website, newmommymedia.com, and click on the Mighty Moms banner. It's free. That's newmommymedia.com. See you there.